I am Hugo Chavez, and my message to people of Venezuela, we are going to give the rights back to the people.
Yeah, socialism, woo!
We are going to make the workers liberated.
Yeah, socialism!
We are going to make sure that everyone is the happiest they can be.
Communism, woo!
And we are going to make everybody equal.
Socialism, woo!
Sir, can I ask you a question?
At risk of death, yes.
I don't know what delusional world you're living in, but your people are starving and dying in the streets. We have no money, no job, no work, nothing. How are you to say that we are all equal and doing well under socialism? Answer that.
That's because of capitalism.
How is it
Everyone
because of
is
capitalism?
equal. Everyone's equal.
Under your
Shut
source...
up. Shut up. To the gulag.
And scene, ladies and gentlemen.
You were supposed to be a person living in Venezuela.
I said
Not-
our people.
No, you said people.
What
You're
do you
supposed
mean?
to be a person living in Venezuela and say, wait, but I'm poor. How do you explain this?
Back it up. I said our people are starving and dying
No,
and don't
she
have
did not.
jobs.
Fact check. Bring in the USA
Fact check
Today
me
fact
down
checks.
below, but I know that's what I
No,
said.
I was listening.
I either said your people or our people. Major loser.
She ruined it. She ruined it.
So we did this intro because we got the amazing opportunity to interview one of our amazing PragerFORCE members, and that is a woman by the name of Maria Bello. If you guys want to learn more about her before we even get into the interview, she is a Venezuelan immigrant, and she has a video with us for our series, Americanos. I'm going to show you a short clip of that video, then we'll get into our interview. Here we go.
My name is Maria Bello. I came to the United States 7 years ago from Venezuela. I never experienced what freedom was like until I came to the United States. To me, it was absurd that people my age love socialism. I escaped socialism because I wanted freedom. I don't think America wants to go through the same thing.
And there's her little intro for Americanos. You guys can go and check that out by going to PragerU.com, clicking browse, going down to Americanos, and she is the latest episode. Now, like I said, we got the honor to actually interview her for the show today. So let's listen to what Maria has to say, a little bit about her story. Hi, everybody. So on the show today, we have a very special guest by the name of Maria Bello. She is one of our PragerFORCE members, and she has an interesting story. She's come from Venezuela to really warn Americans about the dangers of socialism and to tell us about where we're headed. Maria, thank you so much for being on the program.
Oh, thank you for inviting me.
What would be your main message right now to Americans? I mean, you're seeing, you live through things that Americans have no idea really what it's about. I mean, you go to a college campus and you have kids all over screaming about how great socialism is, even some saying how great Venezuela is. What is your message to these types of young people in America now who are praising these types of things?
To me, it's so funny that all of these people are talking about how good socialism is, and they have never gone through anything. If we talked about then saying, oh, socialism is so good, but they're buying Starbucks, they have iPhones, something I could not have back home. My message to all of those people would be, do your research and actually listen to those people who have gone through socialism. There is a reason why in the United States, because I couldn't stay at home. I couldn't be there. I couldn't leave. I wasn't going to have a future. I wasn't going to have a really good education. So that's one of the main reasons why I decided to leave the United States. Because if I stay, not United States, I'm sorry. I decided to leave Venezuela because if I stay there, I will have ended up arrested or even worse, killed. I have had so many friends that they stay back home. They got arrested. One of my friends died in 2018. It's so dangerous for us to do politics there, to say something against the government. I was really politically involved. To me, if I did something, if I speak up against the government, if I try really hard, to me, I will be able to stay at home and actually do something for the country. But then in 2013, that's when I decided that it was best for me to come to the United States because my life was just a mess over there.
Now, do you see sort of the seeds of socialism being sown here in America? And a lot of conservatives talk about this. Is that something that scares you, or is that something that you're concerned about?
I am concerned, and it actually scares me as well. I will never thought that it was going to happen here in the United States. When I got to the United States, I actually didn't want to be politically involved, even though my major is political science and that's what I'm passionate about. I didn't want to say anything because I was scared that something was going to happen to my family back home. And it was until 2019 that I actually started hearing people saying, hey, socialism is so good. Look at Denmark, look at all of these countries. They have socialist policies and they're doing really good. The thing is, Denmark is not a socialist country. A socialist country would be Venezuela. And, their excuse is it's going to work out this time. The United States is going to be better if we are under socialist policies. No, it's not. In 2019, I decided that I had to do something. I had to say something. That's when I started speaking up against all of these socialist radical policies, against the life, saying my story. And I mean, it scares me. You go into a college campuses and you see all of these people talking about, well, I went to Texas actually in February, and I did a speech about my story, what I went through. And my audience were all of these young democratic socialists. And I remember by the end of my speech, they said, well, we did a research and Venezuela is not, it's like the way it is because of capitalism. Wow.
Amazing. Wow.
Thing I went through, you're telling me that Venezuela is the way it is just because of capitalism. No, it's not. It's
people
because
are disillusioned. People don't actually understand what's going on. And that's probably the biggest issue, is that people are hypocritical. And they will see information that disagrees with their mainline viewpoint and totally disregard it because it tears down what their religion is. And why do you think it is that so many people in America are attracted to this ideology? I mean, I think it's partly due to a vanity of most people, that instead of making the world about, other things going on, other types of values, they say the world is all about me. Everything is all about me. And that's what it kind of seems to be. What is your reasoning why you think people in America are so attracted to this when it's really so dangerous?
Yeah. One of the things I would say is that they hear, oh, I'm going to give you free tuition. I'm going to give you free healthcare. I'm going to give you everything for free. One of the things that I say is that socialists will promise you free things, but they will never promise you freedom. What do you do with no freedom? I mean, what do you do after that?
Right. That's a great. You said you still have family in Venezuela to this day.
Yes.
You don't have to answer this if you don't want to, but how are they doing currently?
Well, as I said in my video, my family was middle-class family. I will always remember is going to the grocery store with my grandparents. They will do such a big grocery shopping for the house in the city, for their farm, for my house, for everyone's houses. And, my family had a lot of money. Like, no, we were not rich, but we were middle-class. We were comfortable. And then it got to the point that now I call my grandparents and they say, well, we have to rent out the house in the city because we don't have money to eat. That is so sad. That is really sad. After you went through middle class, now you don't have money to eat. We had a farm and my grandma got really sick in 2018. They have to go back to the city. And when they came back to the farm, a crew of people got into a farm when no one was there and they stole everything we had. We have nothing now. So we went from middle class family. We went from having not to worry about what we're going to eat tomorrow, to worry what we're going to eat tomorrow.
It's horrible.
So it's hard. It's really hard because I think about the good life that I have in here. And I think about why my family cannot have the same. And not just me, why every Venezuelan, every Cuban, we cannot have the same life. Why we have to worry about all of this stuff. Well, we have to worry about what we're going to eat tomorrow. Well, we have to worry about how we're going to be tomorrow. We're going to have to worry about so many things. And that's what Americans don't understand. They think socialism is a joke. That's what they think it is. It's a joke. And it's not a joke. We have suffered through so much. Why do I want to go through the same thing again?
That's a real problem, that we still have people in America who are so enticed by it, who think that this is just the best thing ever, the best thing since sliced bread. And even in Venezuela, they can't even get sliced bread. I mean, it's absolutely insane how in love with socialism people are here in this country. But I mean, you working with PragerFORCE, which is our student program, how has that been? Have you been able to spread the messages of anti-socialism and pro-free markets using PragerFORCE?
It has been really good, actually, PragerFORCE. Well, one of the reasons why I did my PragerU video is because of PragerFORCE. Last year, I got into Dennis Prager podcast. And then when he heard that I was from Venezuela, Dennis was like, you have to do Americana. So that was thank you to PragerFORCE. So you can do a lot of things through PragerFORCE. PragerFORCE has been one of the organizations that actually opened the doors to every student that believes in the conservative movement, that believes in that socialism is not the answer. So PragerU is actually really good. I will advise everyone that if you haven't joined PragerFORCE, just do it.
Oh, thank you so much, Maria. I just want to go ahead and say your story is amazing, and you're super brave to be so open about how you feel, especially when so many young people are just so lost and blinded by socialist ideology and what they think is right for America. So I hope that you continue doing what you're doing, regardless of all the pushback that you get.
Yeah, thank you. I might get a lot, but there's nothing that can stop me. I know God is next to us. God is leading our path, and that's what matters to us.
You need to speak to more democratic socialists. That sounds like a good time. I wish they would listen to me, because I go to a campus and they refuse to come to my events unless they're destroying my events. So the fact they even listen to you is kind of cool, at least.
It's funny because one of them was like, so what do you think about the minimum wage going to $15? I said, well, if the minimum wage is going to be $15, everything is going to like go up. And he's like, well, I don't believe it should be $15. I believe it should be $14. What is $1 going to do? What's the difference?
14's, listen, I'm a hardline guy, okay? Right. 14, fine, 15, that's just, you're pushing it.
Are you listening to yourself? You sound ridiculous.
Well, it's a massive undertaking to go and try to educate people and at the very least, get them to listen to you. So I appreciate everything that you're doing. And again, I want to thank you so much for being on the show.
Oh, thank you guys.
Perfect. And that is our PragerFORCE member, Maria Bello. And this is a great reminder that PragerFORCE is international. You can join PragerFORCE from anywhere that you are in the world, so long as you are a high school student, college student, or a young professional below the age of 35 who happens to be a little conservative and likes what PragerU has to say. So go to PragerFORCE.com and you can sign up. Yeah, she's got an amazing story. Again, you guys can see the rest of her story by going to PragerU.com, going to browse, going to our Americanos series, and she is the latest episode.
Mm-hmm. And the music in Americanos is fantastic.
It is.
It's one thing that is quite underrated about the show.
Yeah.
People don't want to talk about.
The music.
The music. The flamenco guitar and the mariachi.
Whoever in our production team did that, good job.
Mm-hmm. Was it
I'm
Alex?
sure you're not watching, but good job. I don't know. Maybe it was.
No, I don't think it was Alex. They probably ripped it off something.
But now we're going to get into our other stories here. We're going to get into a few things today. A couple stories out of Afghanistan and sort of updates as to what's happening there, not only there, but also in the United States. Will and I are going to be rating the submissions that you guys put in of your movies, albums, actors, songs on our Instagrams and giving you our ratings out of 10. If you guys want to follow us on Instagram, you can go to the Amala or the Will Witt. If you want to follow Tyler, what's your Instagram?
My Instagram is at Tyler J. Ray.
There we go.
Follow me.
Why is it not the Tyler J. Ray?
I don't know. Maybe I should change it.
Yeah,
should
maybe
change it. Yeah,
change it
right,
as soon as possible.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, Tyler only has a month left with us, 3 weeks left with us.
2 weeks.
2 weeks?
2 weeks.
Oh my goodness.
Today.
Oh my gosh.
How are we ever going to find someone else?
The best intern we've ever had.
Yeah, the only intern we've ever had.
But still the best.
Still the best.
It's like George Washington, you're going to go out with a bang and it's just going to be, the best.
You think he's George Washington?
The George Washington of interns.
I mean, I'll take it.
You're both white. So.
He's stepping down from his term. He's like, I know my time here is up, I'm not going to take all the power. Good man.
Yeah, Mount Vernon over here. That's what we call it.
Going back to Mount Vernon. Okay, now, the title of this video is Famous Celebrity Makes a, Stupid Pro-Choice Argument. And who's the famous celebrity in question? It is none other than Justin Baldoni. I'm not surprised by this one at all. Disappointed? Absolutely. But I tend to be disappointed with celebrities' political takes nowadays, all the time. So here's a video that Justin Baldoni decided to post on Instagram today regarding his pro-choice thoughts.
I just heard that the government can now decide what a woman can and can't do with her body. But it's like not at all about women, right? It's not about women, it's about life. Okay, so does that mean that the government can now decide what us men can and can't do with our bodies? It's not about women. I have an idea. What if every unmarried man had to get a mandatory reversible vasectomy? I mean, I got one. It's a lot easier than having my wife on birth control. And I can tell you that it is 100% effective at preventing births. And the best part is that I get to have all of the unprotected sex I want to have with my wife, with her consent, of course, without any of the consequences. You in, fellas? Or is it your body, your choice?
Oh gosh, an amazing conflation of two arguments that make absolutely no sense whatsoever. Amazing. You know what? Women do have a choice. I'm going to go ahead and put that out there as a woman. You could not have reckless intimacy that leads to pregnancy. That is a perfect choice for you, and you every day in your life can exercise that freedom of choice. Now, if you've decided to go and choose not to do that and get pregnant, it should not be your right to then run away from your consequences. And he hones in on that point. I get to do whatever I want with my wife without any consequences whatsoever.
Wait, who is this guy? I've never seen him before.
If you've never seen Justin Baldoni, he's an actor. He's been in a lot of things, but the thing that made him the most famous was being in a show called Jane the Virgin, coincidentally enough. And it's about a young woman who goes into a clinic for a checkup and ends up being artificially inseminated without her consent, not knowing that was the procedure happening. I guess the doctor switched up her and another woman. And Jane herself, Jane the Virgin, decides to follow through with the pregnancy. So he is a main man on this show. Ends up being the father of the child, of course. And that is his claim to fame.
Did you watch the show?
I have seen the show. I have not seen all of it. I've seen like 5 or 6 episodes of Jane the Virgin.
Sounds horrible.
It's like a comedy sitcom show that just, has that little drama in it. That's the storyline.
I wish he was like a real actor.
Yeah, well,
like in a cool show or something.
Well, one can only wish and
no,
and
you
hope.
you can only wish.
And that's
But
not what we got here.
Yeah, I also hope that he didn't put this message out too, but there's only so much you can do.
Yeah, here we are listening to it though. It's just how infatuated are you with intimacy that you feel like this is the need and this is the solution, that men need to go and get reversible vasectomies instead of just being careful and using contraceptives, or secondly, not having sex recklessly.
Well, the thing that's important here to know is that he's at the beginning talking about controlling women's bodies and that it's men who want to control women's bodies, right?
Right.
Did they not know how Roe v. Wade was decided? By all men. All men decided Roe v. Wade for that to be able to be, for that to happen. So this whole argument that it's like, oh, men can't, no uterus, no opinion, you big idiot. It's like, well, first of all, I thought men could have periods and give birth. Okay?
Right.
That's the first thing with the left, so stick to your terms. And secondly, the people who decide these kind of things were men who decided Roe v. Wade. So it's like, are you really that mad? No, you're only mad because they disagree with you. That's how they label you as a sexist. They say, oh, you're sexist, instead of saying, oh, you're someone who doesn't agree that a baby should be killed. It's like, no, you're a sexist because you're not fighting for women's rights. That's how they get you.
Gosh, I'm just reading the caption on this Instagram post. If this debate isn't about controlling women and it is really about being pro-life, then we men should be man enough to do the most pro-life thing possible, preventing unwanted pregnancies by getting vasectomies. Who's in? ?
Men just use a condom.
What? Yeah, and I listened to this and I was like, you know what? Let me do some reading on vasectomies really quickly, because I have a feeling it's not as cut and dry as just going and getting one and getting it reversed. And guess what? That feeling was totally correct, because once you've had one, let's say it's been less than 10 years. Less than 10 years, you have about a 95% chance of getting someone pregnant after that. So if you want kids, 95 it's all right. It's pretty good. It's statistically significant. You have a 5% chance of not getting that person pregnant. If you wait past 10 years and get to 15, the difference is anywhere from 30 to 70% of being able to achieve pregnancy after that. So this is his commonly held solution for all men. Brilliant.
I haven't had a vasectomy, so I don't know all the facts.
Well, I'm glad that you haven't.
Why?
Because I just think it's a bad decision from what I've read so far.
Yeah. No, I would love to have children.
Yeah.
I am very much looking forward to it someday.
I hope so. But what I'm going to say is the pro-life argument has nothing to do with controlling women whatsoever. It has nothing to do about asserting control of a woman. You have the choice. And the choice is, A, do I want to be pregnant? B, do I not want to be pregnant? And that choice is fully yours. But if you do get pregnant, that was by your choice. By and large, it is your choice. So another thing about this that really irritates me is that celebrities who, maybe he's talented as an actor. Watching Jane the Virgin, questionable. But he now has a political platform, and he now has some perceived authority from people that watch him, and he is an attractive man. So a lot of the people that subscribe to him and listen to what he has to say are young women. And to put not only an uneducated opinion, but a completely illogical opinion on your platform as a political take is just so wrong. It's so wrong on so many levels. And it's so sad to me that celebrity comes along with political platforms now.
Well, I disagree with you.
What do you disagree with?
I'm all for it. I'm glad that he puts out his bad political opinions.
I guess.
Because I want people to see the dumb things that these people say so we can realize that, listen, just like we talked about, I mean, we've talked about this all the time, is that we want unsafe spaces where bad ideas and good ideas can all clash together to find what the best idea is. So as long as we're able to get our ideas out there, then I'm totally fine and glad that he is able to share his stupid ideas.
I don't think that he shouldn't be able to speak or that he should be censored in any way. But the unfortunate part about this reality is that I know that his audience is young women, young impressionable women who are going to listen to a man like this who says he's completely pro-choice and abortion is fine and women should have the choice. And they're going to think, oh, well, great. Intimacy doesn't really matter, and I should do that to the whims of what I feel and my own temptation. And abortion doesn't matter either, because Justin Baldoni, who has some sort of perceived authority for being an actor, I guess, told me that it's okay. So you have to not only... It's okay to have this opinion, and it's okay to put this opinion on the internet, but it should be apt for criticism. And for young women to be listening to this and taking this to heart is just disgusting.
My mom my mom loves E-News and all that type of stuff, you know, Entertainment Tonight. She loves People Mag, all that kind of stuff.
Right.
And she just texted me and said, I've never heard of him. So,
well,
take that L, boss.
Let's see, 3 million followers. So 3 million people have heard of Justin Baldoni, and obviously far more millions than that. But he's a very famous man.
I don't know him.
Well, if I don't know him, then he's not famous.
Listen, if I don't know who you are, you must not be that famous.
I guess.
Because I know practically everyone.
Let's move on to the next story. It's a stupid political take. Moving on. This is a story out of New York Post. And this is sort of an update on what's happening in Afghanistan as it pertains to one man. This is an ex-British soldier who was attempting to evacuate Afghans who has been arrested by the Taliban. Now, he has been released. Just an update on the story here. But what this man was doing was he was going into Kabul, grabbing people who wanted to be evacuated and sort of be relieved of the Taliban government, and was getting them across the border. Now, he's been successful in 67 cases of doing that. But in an attempt to get over 400 people out of Afghanistan, out of Taliban rule, he was arrested, subsequently questioned, and released. Now, he's going to be able to go back to the UK with, I believe, one of his assistants. But all the people that were working on these missions with him, as well as the Afghans that he intended to save, will be left behind in Afghanistan. So,
well, he's a hero.
He is.
And it's sad that, you know, people like this, people like Glenn Beck, have to be the ones to go over there and do these kind of things, and we can't even get our bloated bureaucracies to actually get their acts together to make this happen.
Right.
Why is it these people's responsibility to do?
This is a former soldier who is now simply just working for nonprofits. That's what he does now. Now, after the Taliban, of course, took over the government, he's not making any profit off of anything that he's doing, and his business has tanked. But he's still attempting to go and save people's lives at the risk of his own when he has no obligation to do so. So Ben Slater is a hero. Good for him. Yeah. It sucks that he won't be able to do what he needs to do anymore. So
that's what it means to be a hero, is doing things even when it's incredibly hard and dangerous. And even though other people around you are doing the wrong thing, you chose to have integrity and still go and do the right thing. That's what it means to be a hero. I mean, this guy, in every sense of the word, really is that. We need more people like that, especially in the UK.
Yeah.
And the UK is full of people who are definitely not heroes. And so the fact that this guy is going and doing that is incredible. Incredible guy.
Think about how brave you have to be to do this, to try to essentially smuggle people out of an authoritarian government, of which the likes we've probably never seen in terms of brutality and how they treat not only women, but just innocent people who don't go with their regime. So what a brave man to go in and try to lead people out of this and to save lives. So
yeah, you don't know what's going to happen to you.
You don't.
Especially if you have a family and all this. Like, you don't know if you're going to come back and make it and be fine.
Yeah.
But you do it anyway because you care.
And he was arrested. Who knows what could have happened? I mean, he could have been just beheaded immediately. And luckily he wasn't. And he still lives to tell the tale. And we live to hear the story of what he's been doing. So, yeah, very, very brave man under very scary circumstances. Now.
You ever been arrested?
I've never been arrested. Have you?
Maybe.
I have a feeling you don't want to talk about whatever.
No, it wasn't my fault.
Whatever occurrence that was.
No.
Do you want to? Maybe we shouldn't discuss.
No,
this?
we don't need to. But just know that free Willie. He ain't do anything.
He ain't do anything. Free my man Willie.
Free my man Willie.
Oh my gosh. Moving on to the next story. Now, this is not about heroism or anything of the sort when it comes to Afghanistan. What is now happening is that refugees coming out of Afghanistan are entering the United States, but there's a problem that comes along with that. This is out of AP News. I'll read this to you. U.S. officials at intake centers in the United Arab Emirates and in Wisconsin have identified numerous incidents in which Afghan girls have been presented to authorities as the wives of much older men. While child marriage is not uncommon in Afghanistan, the U.S. has strict policies against human trafficking that include prosecutions for offenders and sanctions for countries that don't crack down on it. So now we have Afghan refugees, older men, that are coming to the U.S. and the United Arab Emirates and bringing along their child brides. What is to be done about this? We don't know. Jack Poso has come out on Twitter and said that our state advisory boards and everything are talking about this and trying to get a vantage point on what they should do and how they should handle this issue. But I imagine this issue is only going to grow.
Yeah, of course it's going to grow because we keep letting all of these people in. Like we just talked about that video yesterday about the man on the street video that I would potentially do with the refugees and saying, oh, would you take a refugee into your house? And it's like the same thing. Like, you're going to let all these unvetted people into the country. And it's like that one guy who was, we still had soldiers and civilians who are American citizens that were left in Afghanistan that we did nothing about. Yet we had people who were known rapists from Afghanistan being let in as refugees. I mean, how is that the level of cognizance that we have in this country to do that? It makes no sense.
And what do you do? What is your moral stance on this, specifically in relation to the left, who is so uber tolerant of every single religion, of every single culture? Well, child marriage is a part of Afghanistan's culture. What are you going to do now that older men are now bringing younger women with them for child marriage? What are you going to do when older men come and they're not married yet and they want American citizens as marriage, and they know that child marriage is common where they're from? Is that acceptable? Is that do they not have to assimilate? Do they get to just accept that that's their culture and enter the United States and continue with that practice? What do we do for the young girls who are coming to the border with these men? I don't know. I don't have an answer, but it's definitely not allow it to happen. And it is happening.
So they did in Europe. They did in Europe, and they let these people come in to their countries and then essentially not make them or even attempt to try to have them assimilate to the European way of life.
Right.
Because that would be so intolerant of them. And then they saw all these crimes and all these horrible things happen in these places. I mean, in places like Germany, in Frankfurt, it's not even majority native-born German population anymore, and they have swimming pools where women aren't allowed to swim and all this, and it's like they're setting up their own communities with values that do not align with Western values. It's like you can't have that.
Yeah, there is a reason that if you want to come and live in the United States, you have to go through a citizenship process. And that citizenship process involves not only learning about our history, our Constitution, the Declaration of Independence, but what our laws are and how we function as a society. And when you allow people to come into the United States and to live here without having done that assimilation process, this is the result that you get. You get child brides, you get elevated crime, you get elevated rape, because these are commonalities in those countries and they are not commonalities here. So if you do not make a prerequisite of assimilation before allowing people to live in your country, this is what is going to happen. And it's not only going to happen to citizens of other countries, although we should care about them anyways. It's going to happen to American citizens. And that is devastating. And it should not be allowed, especially when we're the ones who created the situation for these people to feel the need to come into the United States.
Yeah, some cultures are better than others. That's the real nail in the coffin with this.
And you have to acknowledge when something is a problem. You can't just say, oh, I'm tolerant of it. Oh, well, we accept people of all religions and creeds and cultures. You have to look at that through the lens of what our actual laws are, what our cultural standards are, what our country's standards are, and then see what you allow and what you don't. And this is something that should certainly not be allowed. It's crazy to even have to say that.
Yeah, but you do have to say it because normal people on the left, when they hear something like this, they will say it's intolerant of you to say that. But then as soon as it happens to them in America, they're going to be all up in arms.
Right.
But they'll say that if you say anything bad about it in another country, then it's like a horrible, disgusting, terrible, intolerant thing to say. But once it comes here, then it's like, well, here you go.
Oh, and they'll turn a blind eye to it happening here. I haven't heard a single person on the left talk about this issue. They will turn a blind eye to it. And it's just really, really sad, not only for us as citizens to have to be able to go through this and have to go through this, but the young girls who are essentially being trafficked against their will with no choice. And yeah, that just to have feminists going on the argument right now about pro-life and pro-choice here in America while this sort of stuff is happening in Afghanistan and now being immigrated over to America blows my mind.
There's just nothing racist and xenophobic about this. So you guys, I'm sure if you say something like this, that's exactly what people say. They'll say that you're racist and xenophobic. It has nothing to do with the person's skin color, their nationality, what country they're from. It doesn't matter. It matters a set of values, a set of culture. Those are the things that matter. If someone has a culture where they have 10 child brides, that's not particularly as good of a culture as what we have in the West, okay? There are differences between cultures. Nothing racist or xenophobic about that. That's just like common sense knowledge that people on the left, when they talk about these things, they agree. They agree and they know, but they don't want to admit it for the fear of looking intolerant.
Exactly right. Now, before we get into our next announcement, I'm going to read some super chats from you guys. From Josh and Jesus, he says, conservatives would do well to get over the abortion issue. I already know I'm going to disagree with this, but let's keep reading. There's nothing in the Bible about it, and it causes unnecessary fighting. People also tend to become obsessed with it, blinding them from other issues. So many things to address here. Josh, I appreciate your super chat, but one, I don't think any conservative should run away from the issue of abortion, especially when 60+ million abortions have happened since Roe v. Wade was ratified. Now, he states that there's nothing in the Bible about it and it causes unnecessary fighting. I think a lot of people have the Bible as their metric for how they look at the world, but a lot of people don't. I personally don't. I'm an agnostic. I still think abortion is wrong and I'm pro-life. Now, I don't think we have to run everything through the lens of the Bible. Now, some of you may disagree with me, but the abortion fight is a fight nonetheless, and we should continue to talk about it and fight for it because it is costing lives, innocent lives.
But it is biblical because it's do not murder.
Yeah,
I mean,
it is.
That's even without saying the word abortion. Okay, they didn't have chemical pills that people can take during the times of the Bible and the times of Jesus that would classify as what you would say today is an abortion. Okay,
Yeah, that's what a lot of people are throwing in the comments.
Do not murder is the same thing, because if you qualify a child inside the womb as a life and you are destroying or extinguishing that life, then it is murder by definition.
Yep.
So again, that's why I talked about yesterday and how important it is that when you start talking to someone about abortion, the first thing you have to do is determine when it is a life and figure out that right as conception, that is when it is a life.
Exactly. Now, another super chat here from Marcelino Gonzalez. Love watching your daily streams. I remember having a radical teacher in high school promoting socialism/communism and telling us that it helps so many people. The irony is that he's a history teacher.
Well,
anybody can be blind. Anybody. It doesn't matter who you are.
Even
Next
people
one.
with 20/20 vision.
Keisha Scott says, TGIF, huge fan of you. Thank you guys so much. Thank you, Keisha. Paige O, Will, please do not disrespect Jane the Virgin. It's hilarious and actually brilliant because it's a satire of a telenovela. It's great. Lil woke, though.
Never seen it. Never will. But
It's not
glad
that
you
good,
like
yeah.
it. Okay, you
As
like
long
what
as you like it, Paige. And
Well-
this is what the show's going to be about later today. We're going to be rating things and saying whether or not we like or dislike them. So
Well, it's whether or not I'm going to be giving you guys facts about why some things are better than others. And you can tell me if you disagree or agree. But, regardless, they're all facts. So, I don't have opinions. I just know facts.
Oh, well, the world must have celebrated the day that you were born.
It did. It did. It was on my birthday. And did you guys know that my birthday is this Sunday? That's amazing, isn't it?
It is amazing. It is amazing. What are you going to be doing?
Guess in the comments how you guys know. You guys can guess in the caption. How old am I turning? How old am I turning, Tyler? Do you know?
I know.
Do you actually know, Tyler?
Do you want him to say it?
Do you want me to say?
Yeah, you
I don't want to spoil it. You turned 25?
Good job.
Heck yeah,
That's right.
25.
No, Tyler's a real one. Thank you, Tyler.
I'm a real fan.
But for my birthday, we're doing a special promo for my book, actually. So you guys can click the link that Tyler, maybe you want to put in the caption right now on all the stuff. It's at Books A Million. And if you guys use the code HBD, happy birthday, HBD at checkout for my new book, How to Win Friends and Influence Enemies, you're going to get 25% off up until my birthday. So that's today, tomorrow, and Sunday. So you guys can put an order in, 25% off my book. That means that maybe you got a copy before, but you said, oh, but I want to get one for my mom. Now I can go get one for cheaper for my mom, or your dad.
It's a win.
Or your mom's. I don't know, whoever it is. But you can go to the link. It's in the description if you're watching this later. Or right now, Tyler's putting it in the caption, whatever. That you guys can go order my book, How to Win Friends and Influence Enemies. And there is a chapter on abortion in the book that you guys can use to learn how to change minds on abortion. There's topics on basically every single political, cultural topic out there. I've gone and talked to thousands of people and changed so many minds, and a lot of the tactics that I use and questions that I use are in this book, along with the facts and statistics, so you can actually change people's minds. So get 25% off by celebrating my birthday. You guys, if you want to give me a birthday present, don't send me cake, don't send me flowers. Please go pre-order my book. Books A Million.
Wokebia said, Mr. Witt, what is with the Joseph Stalin stash? Looks good on you, though.
Thank you. It does look good. I am here for communist revolution.
Now, everybody, let's get into our final segment of the day for Fun Friday. And that is a segment by the name of Rapid Review. You guys submitted your different films, artists, songs, actors, whatever you wanted to submit through our Instagrams.
Cultural stuff.
Yes, cultural stuff. At the Amala Benobi, at the Will Witt. You can follow us on there, and we will possibly feature your submissions on the show. And today we have done that. Rapid Reviews number 1 is from Allie Joe 2022, and it's The Princess Bride. This is a great film, I'm going to go ahead and say. Now, we're supposed to rate this 1 to 10.
Who says?
That's what I say. I make the rules because I
don't
made
know
the
if I like
spreadsheet.
that rule, to be honest.
I made
you made a spreadsheet?
I made this sheet.
This is a PowerPoint, not a spreadsheet.
I made the PowerPoint, whatever.
Okay, all right.
So 1 to 10 is my rule.
Well, I've never seen it.
Oh, you've never seen Princess Bride?
No, I've never seen Princess Bride.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
Have you seen it, Tyler?
I have seen it, yeah.
Yeah? What do you rate
A couple times. It's a good movie. I'd give it probably like a 6.
Okay.
A 6? Yeah. A good movie is a 6 to you?
I mean, I don't think it's a great movie. I think it's a good movie.
A 60% in school is a D. Like you...
I don't know. I feel like because it has the word princess and a bride in the title, it doesn't sound like a movie for me.
You're gonna love it. It's okay. So first of all, it's a classic. It is a literal classic. I don't know anybody who hasn't seen Princess Bride until now.
Is that Jenny?
Jenny?
From Forrest Gump?
Jenny.
I think that is Jenny from Forrest Gump. I don't remember what her name is. But I give this movie at least a 7.5 out of 10. It's a classic. It's really well written. The storytelling's great. The acting is comedic and funny, and you get everything from it. You get laughs, you get heartache, you get sadness, you get happiness. Princess Bride is a good movie.
Was that from the movie that you were just saying?
No. Inconceivable. You ever seen that clip? No. Wow.
No.
That is wild.
Yeah.
Guys.
Sorry. I don't watch womanly movies.
It's not a woman movie.
Princess
Andre the
Bride.
Giant's in this movie? Oh my gosh. Okay, we're going to move on. Next one, Greta Van Fleet. And this one's submitted by Bella Claire 04. I already know where me and Tyler are at on this one because we love Greta.
Rate it, and I'll tell you.
Okay. Greta Van Fleet. I already know you're going to trash whatever rating I give this band.
Just, can you answer?
I'm going to
before you just give away what I'm going to say?
Greta Van Fleet. 8.5 or 9 out of 10. That's my rating. Tyler?
I would agree. 8.5.
8.5?
Yeah.
Oh, that's good that you guys are so young and don't know much about anything.
Oh my gosh.
It's a 3.
I already know what you're going to say.
It's a 3.
Say it.
Greta Van Fleet. If you guys haven't heard Greta Van Fleet, here's what I want you to do, okay? Because there's probably lots of you in here who don't listen to bad music and you're like, I never heard of this. If you want to if you like Led Zeppelin and you like Led Zeppelin but worse, you're gonna like Greta Van Fleet.
Oh my
Greta Van
gosh.
Fleet is a cover band of Led Zeppelin. They took all of their sounds, all of their styles, and somehow people think that they are unique and good. And all it is a cover band of Led Zeppelin, essentially.
Let's go over this again. Okay, so they're definitely not a 3, and we're going to get into the debate here. First of all, just because something sounds similar or stylistically is inspired,
No, it's not.
definitely.
No. It is
Yes.
not similar. It is literally a copy.
It is not.
It is a
not.
copy.
The style is extremely similar to Led Zeppelin. I will
Not
give you that.
similar.
You cannot call
The
it.
same
It is not a
and
cover
worse.
band. They write their own music. They compose their own music, and everything is great. Their lyrics are great. The music is great. Josh Kishka, who's the front singer of the band, is 21 years old. He has a voice that's incredible. And Robert Plant from Led Zeppelin has given the A-OK to this band as well and says that they are completely fantastic.
He's
Now,
not going to poop on him. I mean,
yes,
he's going to be
rock
nice
stars,
to him.
He could very well go up there and say, no, I think you've
Yeah,
copied
he's not
everything
gonna
I've
do
ever
that.
done in my life. They've definitely nuanced it. Their lyrical writing is great. Their songs are great. Their performance, if you go watch them perform live, is fantastic.
No.
I'm coming up to bat. Now, so often...
What is your favorite Led Zeppelin song?
I don't have a favorite Led Zeppelin song.
So you don't even have a favorite Led Zeppelin song?
You don't
and you're
have
gonna
to have a
tell me
favorite
that
Led
they're
Zeppelin
not
song.
a cover band of Led
I've
Zeppelin.
heard Led Zeppelin. I know they sound extremely similar. I accept the fact that they sound extremely similar. To call it a cover band is disingenuous, and
They're a cover band.
because they're not covering Led Zeppelin songs.
It's
And-
exactly the same thing.
What else am I going to say? In our
don't know.
society today, we complain so much about how all of music is so like fresh and modern, and it's so gross, and they don't sing about anything real, and every single pop star that comes out, whether they're male or female, sounds exactly the same. Greta Van Fleet recognized that criticism and said, you know what's a classic band that has always been great? Led Zeppelin. Let's try to emulate that energy, make some new music that, while is new and modern, is still very much 1970s style, and nobody else is doing it. So
Anyone who is a real fan of music would never put on a Greta Van Fleet song before putting on a Led Zeppelin song.
I completely disagree. So
Yeah,
they're
well, you're not a real
definitely
fan of
they're
music.
definitely not a 3.
Okay,
They're
fine,
definitely
2.
not a 3.
All right, let's move on to the next one.
So rude. I'm going to come back to this. Tom Cruise, and this is, I don't know if this is from Bella Claire. I think this was actually from intern Tyler. Tom Cruise.
10.
Really? I mean, is
Love
it
Tom
wise
Cruise.
because you like Top Gun?
Top Gun,
Because
Mission
every
Impossible.
single man loves Top Gun.
Yeah, he's just a great guy. I loved him jumping on Oprah's couch. Fantastic. He talks about Big Pharma.
He's also a
Other than this-
Scientologist.
Yep.
So
Well, you know,
that's
Yep.
you can.
You know,
Are you
whatever.
not going to deduct points for Scientology? That's
Maybe I'll add a
deductible.
point. That's kind of brave.
That's oh my gosh. I'm gonna go 7, maybe a 6, honestly, because I haven't heard great things about Tom Cruise. Good actor, sure. That's significant. So that gives him a 6 for me. Personality wise, outside of doing actual acting, Garbo.
He had this great movie with Cameron Diaz called Night and Day. You guys ever see that? No? It was
Nope.
really cute.
No.
It was a cute movie. I watched it with my mom.
What's your rating, Tyler?
Okay. Acting alone, I'll give him a 7.
Okay.
Okay.
I have to deduct 2 points for being in Scientology at
Yes,
least.
yes.
I hope they don't come for me, but like it's a little sketchy.
The
things
squirrels are
going
gonna
on,
come
know?
for you, Tyler. The squirrels are coming.
Yep.
Okay. So
So I give him a 5.
5.
Fine.
Brilliant. Good. I agree. I concur. Somewhat. Okay. Gone with the Wind. Have you seen this movie, Tyler?
A long time ago, yes. It's
Okay.
a classic.
Same a long time ago.
Okay. Do you guys have a rating for this? Because I absolutely do, but I will wait for you.
I
guys.
don't.
10. Gone with the Wind's 10. 10 out of 10. Fantastic movie. Vivian Leigh, great job. Clark Gable's great job. Just a fantastic piece of classic cinema. The woman who plays Mammy, first black woman to ever get an Academy Award, so that's amazing. The movie is 4 hours long. It's
too long.
It's an endeavor to watch that movie, but not a bit of it feels like it has gone to waste. So I love
think
Gone with the
that's a
Wind.
lie.
Not a bit of it.
I think that's a lie.
Not a bit of it. Yeah, I'm never watching Gone with the Wind and I think, I don't really like this scene. They could have cut
See,
that.
I think you
it's
have
great.
like nostalgia glasses on.
I don't.
and
I
you're
don't.
like, oh, I kind of want to look cool by saying I like this
No,
old
I will tell you
movie.
this. I've seen Gone with the Wind at least 10 times. It's my grandmother's favorite movie of all time. And my grandmother collects, the Marie dolls. You know what I'm talking about? So she has every single character from Gone with the Wind from whenever they were created. So I mean, she's probably got quite a bit of money sitting in a little display case. But yeah,
You get them one day.
maybe. Shout out to my grandma who exposed me to Gone with the Wind. So 10 out of 10 movie. You guys have ratings?
No. I
No?
don't have one.
I'll give
Too
it a
long.
9.
Okay.
Extra points for getting canceled. So like
Right.
like you
Yeah,
said,
that's true.
Hattie McDaniel, I think was her name, was the first African American to win an Oscar, and I think that's huge. And just the fact that it got canceled for that, and it's a great example of real great acting that got canceled for something really stupid. So
That's a valid point, Tyler. Valid point. Great rating. Next one, Leonardo DiCaprio. I don't know why I put the same Instagram handle on all these, but she definitely didn't submit them. Sorry, Bella Claire. I'm not giving you all the credit. But Leonardo DiCaprio. Will, I have a feeling that I know your rating already, but go ahead and give
11.
it. Yep.
I love Leo.
I knew it.
Leo is my favorite actor of all time. I think he's brilliant at acting. He is so good. I've seen practically all of his movies. I think he's so good. He's the best. He's the best actor.
Does he get points deducted for being a leftist, or are you just going based off the acting?
I only watch him for his acting, so I don't care about his personal life and weirdo things that he does.
Okay,
You know,
Tyler?
but I love his acting. He's so good. He's made movies that have almost like life-changing movies, things that have very much inspired me.
Okay. Interesting.
like Wolf of Wall Street.
Yeah, exactly. Like Wolf of Wall Street,
Life-changing.
like What's Eating Gilbert Grape,
Okay.
Catch Me If You Can, another
Catch Me
great
If You
movie.
Can, yeah,
I'll give him an 8.
You'll give him an 8?
Great actor, yeah.
Okay. I'm going to give him, I think an 8 is solid. I haven't seen a movie with Leonardo DiCaprio in it that I disliked thus far. And I've seen a lot of his movies, so I think he's a brilliant actor. He did some of his most brilliant acting in a movie called Revolutionary Road, where he reunited with Kate Winslet for a sort of love, drama, hatred movie. And yeah, he's talented. Talented
so
guy.
talented.
Okay, next one. The song Hotel California by the Eagles, submitted not by Bella Claire. I don't know who submitted it, but I keep putting the same name.
What do you think?
I'm going to be honest, I'm not a huge fan of this song at all. Every time I hear it, I'm like, not this song again. And for that reason, I'm going to give it a 3. Not that it's a totally horrible song. My brain has just been inundated with it so much throughout the duration of my life that I have to give it a 3. I'm over it. So.
What about you, Tyler?
I mean, I don't really listen to the song very often, but it is a classic, so I'll give it a 6.
Okay. I think the Eagles, when I was in college, I put the Eagles on my top 10 overrated bands list as the number 3 pick with my writing in college.
Okay.
I think the Eagles are incredibly overrated. Don't get me wrong. They have some very catchy songs, some songs that, are very good. One of These Nights, Witchy Woman, Life in the Fast Lane. I like the Eagles. But in terms of like their overall legacy as a really good band of the 70s, they're just not up there with some of the greats, and I think that people hold them too high of an esteem. So the Eagles are, and this song in general, very overrated. I'll give it a 3 or 4.
Okay, wow, it's the first time we've agreed on a number here. Next one, Billie Eilish.
I don't know. I don't know if I have anything to think about her.
Have you listened to any of her music?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I've listened to it.
Tyler,
I
do you
don't
have any
like it.
immediate thoughts?
I don't listen to her music. I did initially when she first started out. I think she makes pretty unique sounds with the way she develops her music. So her and what's her brother's name? Phineas?
Yeah,
I think he goes
Phineas.
by, right?
Yeah.
I get really nerdy about music production, that sort of things. And I watched a video about how they made a lot of their songs, and they take really random little sound bits of different noises. So they'll take a match and they'll light a match, or they'll drop a ball on the ground and turn a beat and make a beat from those sounds, which I think is really cool.
Yeah.
It's very creative. I mean, I don't really listen to it too much, and she's a big lefty, so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, but that's creative, and that's cool. But, just because you do cool creative things doesn't mean you make good music.
That's
Okay.
true. That's true.
Lyrically, I think Billie Eilish and her brother are super talented as far as catchy pop goes. So they've really cornered the market when it comes to being a female pop artist. So that gains points for them. Her vocal control, vocal styling, immaculate, spectacular. She's a really good singer. Give her points for that. I take points back for all the demonic stuff that she does in her music, like saying that all good girls go to hell and like dressing up as, you know, Satan falling from grace and coming out from the tar pits of hell. Not a huge fan of that. Gonna deduct points for that in the leftism. So I'm gonna give her a solid 6. Yeah. Next. Stand By Me, the film.
Give it a 6.
6? Really? A 6?
It's a good flick.
Why? What? Where's the point deduction coming from? What's wrong with Stand By Me that it's a 6?
It's just not my favorite movie.
Why?
Because it's not.
You don't
I like
have
other
any
movies more.
Okay, fair enough.
But Rivers Phoenix, great actor. There's a lot of good stuff in that movie, but it's not a movie that super holds my attention.
Okay.
The things that it's about.
Stand By Me, I'm gonna give 7.5, 8. I think it's a super solid movie. Great coming of age movie for any young man to watch. The acting, as far as young actors go, super great. Not a big fan of what happened off set with these young guys and the abuse and everything, so I'm gonna take some points off for that. But all in all, really well written movie, really well directed movie, really well acted movie. So 7.5.
I've actually never seen it, so can't give it a rating.
Okay. Wow. No answer from Tyler.
The fans are screaming, Tyler.
The gall.
Where is
Uncultured.
this rating?
The audacity. Yeah, you uncultured
We have
swine.
to know.
Next one, Miss Lauryn Hill, the artist. Any immediate thoughts?
10.
10. Really?
Yeah, love Lauryn Hill.
I think Lauryn Hill's overrated. I'm going to give Lauryn Hill a 6.
That's not
Yeah,
true.
I'm gonna
Lauryn
give her
Hill is
6.
so talented. She's like, she is incredibly talented.
I'm not denying that. I think she's incredibly talented. I
Then
just
why is
don't.
she
I just
overrated?
don't prefer her music. I've never you know what? I want to listen to some Lauryn Hill right now. I think a lot of her music is very similar to. I don't think she does a lot of bounds when it comes to stepping outside of the genre or doing something. Like,
She started
totally
the
unique.
genre. I mean, she's the one who like made it with the Fugees and
I understand.
Wyclef. Like she made it.
But her style is just so. It's plateau
No.
when I listen to her music.
She's like insane. She did
You
like
can
acoustic
argue.
songs, and then she did songs like more R&B and then rapping.
They're
I mean, she
still
did
very
everything.
stylistically similar. They're still very stylistically similar. I'm never
No.
you know what? I have a hankering right now to listen to some Lauryn Hill.
Miss
Ever.
Lauryn Hill is like one of the most diverse talents ever in terms of her songwriting and lyrics and just the songs that she makes. I mean, it's insane.
Is she talented? Yes. Do I particularly like what she produces enough to be a huge stan of Lauryn Hill? No.
I don't think you've listened
6.
to enough Lauryn Hill. You got to listen to
Sure.
like some Mystery of Antiquity and some of these other songs.
Sure,
Like,
maybe
she's,
I
like,
haven't.
Incredible.
But what I know
She
of Lauryn
so
Hill
good.
is a 6. Tyler?
I don't really listen to much of Lauryn Hill, but I will play devil's advocate with Amala's argument.
Okay.
So you're saying it's stylistically similar, right?
Right.
So what's the argument with Greta Van Fleet then?
Yeah, exactly.
No, I'm saying
If it's
okay. So
stylistically similar.
no, I'm saying the music that she produces, all the songs are very stylistically similar. Greta
They're
Van
not.
Fleet.
Okay.
Yeah, Greta Van Fleet makes bounds in their style. Like
No.
if you listen
Oh my
to
God.
if you listen to Built by Nations by Greta Van Fleet, then you flick that off and you listen to you're the one that I want, or you're the only one, or whatever it's called. Listen to that song. Totally different. And then you turn that off and listen to Light My Love. You're listening to 3 completely different styles
Listen to
of
3
music.
totally different Led Zeppelin songs. Yeah.
Anyways, moving on. Wow, who thought this would get so heated? From Kingslayer 9000, Johnny Depp.
I'll get Johnny Depp an 8. I think he's probably him and Leo up there as the best actors of all time. In that top list.
Right.
So yeah.
I'm gonna give Johnny Depp a 9. He is a very diverse actor. I would give him the same rating as Leo, which I believe was an 8. But Johnny Depp went through all that BS with Amber Heard, so I got to give him an extra point for going through that and coming out the other end. He's also a super eclectic actor. He not only does very dramatic and comedic roles, but he also does character acting, which is something that so few actors can do and do very well. So Johnny Depp's a 9 for me.
I'll give him an 8.5, right in the middle.
Okay.
I mean, like you just said, look at the roles that he has just listed on these pictures.
Right.
It's incredibly diverse, and
Right.
there's not many professional actors that can do that. Like, there's a lot of great actors that are kind of categorized in the same types of roles, but Johnny Depp definitely expands beyond that. So 8.5.
Does.
8.5. Good rating. The Patriot, the movie. Have you all seen this?
Haven't seen it in a long time. to be
Okay.
honest.
Yeah, it's been a while.
Yeah.
I've watched it recently. I give The Patriot a 7. It is a good movie as far as, you know, this period dramas go and revolutionary wartime period dramas go. It's good. Uber predictable. The first time that I watched it, I was like, okay, he's gonna melt down his kids' little toys.
Don't
Should I give the
I
spoiler?
haven't seen it in a while. Maybe
Okay,
I'll
I won't
rewatch it.
give the
Don't give it
spoiler.
away.
But I knew exactly what he was going to do by the end of the movie. I knew exactly how it was going to happen. I knew how retribution was going to be sought out, and it was very predictable. So for that, I deduct my points.
It's okay.
Any ratings over here?
Don't remember.
Don't remember?
well enough.
Tyler doesn't remember?
It's been too long to give a rating.
Goodness gracious. Next one, Luke Combs from Grace Noel 13.
I don't know, like a 1.
Wow. Defend that one really quickly.
Nothing to defend.
Defend it.
I don't have to.
You kind of have to defend that
I don't
statement.
like that kind of music. I think it's bad music.
Just
Just not
country
my
in
type.
general?
That type of country, yeah. Yeah, definitely.
What is that type of country?
Like that type of country that's like, I want some country that's talking about, you know, the real heart of America. The things that like actually matter. Not just like your body's like a tractor or something.
He doesn't
I want,
make
like-
music
Okay,
like
you've
that.
never listened to Luke Combs.
Yeah.
then?
I have listened to Luke Combs. I listened to Luke Combs with Amala before. I don't
Okay.
really
Name
like-
one song.
I don't know a song by Luke
Exactly.
Combs.
Okay.
It doesn't matter. I don't need to know a song.
Tyler,
You're defensive.
Give your ratings. Oh my gosh.
I'm a Luke Combs fan, so I'll
much.
give him a 7. I actually had tickets to go see his concert like a year ago, and then COVID came and got canceled. So I was gonna see him and Tim McGraw, and then got
darn.
yeah.
Okay, as far as all music goes for me, Luke Combs is probably 7. As far as country music goes, he's probably an 8, an 8.5. Super strong lyrical writing, super strong ballads and love songs and things like that. Beautiful, crazy, Forever After All.
Even
His
though
cover-
I'm leaving.
Oh my gosh. His cover of Dive by Ed Sheeran, when you can take somebody else's song and elevate it as an artist and make it so much better than it was before, you've got
Like
talent.
Greta Van Fleet.
There you go, just like Greta Van
No,
Fleet.
2 cover bands.
Yeah, whatever.
Listen,
whatever.
I just don't like that type of music.
Luke Combs is an 8.5. At some point I'm gonna sneak some Luke Combs music into Will's ears, and
and
then
I won't like
he
it.
will
I
accept it.
like
He
old
will like
country.
it.
I like old country a lot.
Oh,
I love old
gosh.
country, but this new stuff is like unrecognizable from what someone like Chris Christopherson was making all those years
Which
ago.
makes me believe you don't listen to Luke Combs.
No, because it's not good.
Oh my gosh.
I don't listen to music that's not good.
Okay, next one from Jay Flores. This is The Outsiders from 1983.
I haven't seen it in so long. I don't remember.
Oh gosh, you
Yep,
Tyler?
no.
No.
Why are you guys so culturally disconnected?
That is literally the
classics.
exact opposite.
Okay. The Outsiders, I'm going to give 9, maybe a 10. I love this movie. So many great performances in this movie from.
You just put things on this list that you know,
Oh, I didn't.
so
I
you could
took.
give good
These are
ratings
submitted
to.
from Instagram.
but you chose them.
What do you mean?
You chose them off Instagram.
Yeah, I
and
did
it-
choose them off Instagram.
Should have asked Tyler to choose them.
Oh my gosh. Anyways, it's a great film. It's based off a book by S.E. Hinton, The Outsiders. Read it. It's good. Patrick Swayze, Rob Lowe, a lot of great faces and names in this. Both the guys from Karate Kid are in this, both the antagonist and the protagonist
Ralph
in Karate Kid.
Macchio, I think that's his name.
Yeah. So, yeah, Outsiders is great. J. Cole from K. Schmitty Schmidt.
7.
7? Explain.
Very good, but has some duds, and isn't always there where I'd like him to be. I know he can be there, but he doesn't commit.
Okay. Tyler?
I mean, like No Role Models, classic song. I haven't listened to him in a long time. I used to
Okay.
listen to him in high school a lot. Good like amped up songs before games and stuff like that. But I haven't listened to his newest album, so can't really
Wasn't very good.
judge based on. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, he's got a couple of strong albums under his belt. His most recent album was not good at all. I don't think I would listen to it again, honestly. So 6 for J. Cole, but I do love J. Cole. Adam Sandler.
3.
Oh my goodness, I'm offended.
3.
Why?
Why?
Back it up like a Tonka truck, Will. Why is it a 3?
His movies are for children.
Okay, somebody hasn't seen Uncut Gems.
No, they're for grown-ups.
Uncut. That was funny.
That is really
That was
good.
No, Uncut Gems is a good movie, and he really shows his acting chops there. But he got pigeonholed as that type of actor when he was younger, and those movies are horrible.
Okay, Tyler, before I go on my rant.
In terms of movies, I'll give him a 5. In terms of a
Okay.
person, I'll give him an 8.
Okay.
He's just like, I don't know if you guys.
Good guy.
Yeah, he seems like a great guy, and he just goes and plays pickup basketball with like random people. I don't know if you guys have seen that
Yes.
before, but I was playing one time at a nearby college just with some friends, and Adam Sandler just walked in, just wearing like gym shoes, gym clothes, and he was gonna play with us, and then he bailed. But it was just a really random experience. So seems like a cool guy. So I'll give him an 8 as a person.
All right, that's cool.
Adam Sandler across the board is a solid 9 for me. Maybe a 10. I'd probably marry Adam Sandler. I think he's I think he's hilarious. The work he did on SNL, spectacular. His movies, although very slapstick and funny haha, are great. 50 First Dates is great. Big Daddy is great. Happy Gilmore is great. Mr. Deeds is great. It's just a good fun comedy. So that's his writing chops and acting chops all there. As far as serious movies goes, he did Uncut Gems. He did the Meyerowitz movie with Noah Baumbach, which were great, and he did spectacular in very serious drama roles, and he's just got a super killer personality. Just seems like such a nice guy. So yeah, 10 for Adam Sandler. And I can back it up.
Fine.
Ferris Bueller's Day Off.
Don't remember.
Why do you guys not remember any of these? Do you remember?
Because I saw them when I was like younger. I don't remember them all.
Yeah, I saw it in like probably middle school or high school or something like
I haven't seen
that.
it since then.
From my memory of it, I'll give it like a 6 or 7.
Sure, I'll give it a
Okay.
7.
I just want you guys to go back to whatever prior episode that Will made fun of me and said that I don't watch movies or know any cultural references.
I've seen them all, but I just don't have a strong
I've
enough
seen them
radar.
all. I've seen them all, and I can recall them.
Well, that's because
So-
you just watched them all for the first time.
No, that is not true at all. That
Then
is
how do you
not true
remember
at all.
them?
Because you remember the things that you watch. I don't
So then
know.
you only chose things that you've watched to be on this list today.
That's
That is 100% true.
yeah, I told you I was going to put things on the list that I hope everybody knows. Which I was. You are part of that, everybody, and you just disappointed me.
No,
That's
I
what
know
happened.
these things. I just don't have strong enough feelings.
Okay.
Let's rate
My
sports
feelings aren't
franchises.
strong
Yeah, let's
enough.
rate sports franchises, Amala.
Yeah, let's do it. Honestly, let's do it. And I will give you my opinion on their mascot, and that's it. Ferris Bueller's Day Off, I give it a 7. Yeah.
Sure.
I had a super big crush on Ferris when I first saw the movie, which, let's be honest, was at maybe 15 years old. And I've seen it several times since, but he didn't age well, which is unfortunate.
That is unfortunate.
You know, when you're like, wow, that's a really cute boy. What does he look like now? And you're like, it's not a
now
cute
he looks
boy
like
anymore.
Taylor. We'll be back next week.
Taylor's a cutie. Don't hate on him.
Amala is going to be gone all next week.
I am.
And Taylor and I are going to be handling the show together with intern Tyler. So it's just going to be three boys. Lots of big boy energy in there next week.
Yep. And
It's
you
gonna be a
guys
lot of
are
fun.
hopefully going to miss me. You're going to be like, why is this show so much less smart than it normally is?
So much less smart.
Yeah, less smart.
That just sounds like a bad sentence.
Says it all.
So yeah, it does say it all.
Says it all.
Why does this show sound far less intelligent than it did last week when I was watching it? Okay.
No,
I fixed my sentence for you.
Listen, I am quite aware of the level of sophistication and talent that you bring to the table.
Oh, okay. And what's that out of 10?
7. But there's
7 is my favorite
you should
number,
be-
luckily.
You should be happy it's a 7.
Oh, because there's room for improvement.
Exactly.
Wow.
Yeah. So
Thank you, Will.
you're welcome.
I will every day try to improve because you gave me a 7.
Yeah, no, well, that's a good goal to set for yourself. You know, improvement. Like Tim
Wow.
Allen,
Yep.
home improvement. That
Home
gets an 8.
improvement. Yep. Yep. Any further comments, notes, anything, Tyler? Nothing else to say to these good people?
Nope.
Well, thank you guys so much for watching. Please like, subscribe, click the notification bell to be notified every single day when we go live. That is 2:30 PST, 5:30 Eastern. If you want to listen to us, you can go to Google Play, Apple Podcast, or Spotify. Please leave us a 5-star review so that we know that you love the show, and hopefully other people know that you love the show, and try it out. Give it a little bit of a listen. See if they like Will and I, or maybe they don't. And in that case, they can also hopefully leave us a 5-star review anyways. Thank you guys for watching. I will not be here next week, but Will, Taylor, and Tyler will be holding down the fort in my absence.
TWT, that's what they call us.
TWT.
Yeah.
And guys, be on the lookout next week because I'm going to be on the Candace Owens show Tuesday night. So if you guys have a Daily Wire subscription, if you don't, get one.